we have the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes versus the visionary Seth freaking Rollins inside a hell in a cell. And Cody Rhodes still came on top, boy, with a torn pec, a very bad injury, not 100%, and still whooped this man inside of a hell in a cell. Cody Rhodes do no wrong. Bruh beat him at WrestleMania, then WrestleMania Backlash, last match of good, Hell in a Cell, done, whooped his ass, it's done. The whole rivalry is done. And I'm telling you this right now, this man did everything in his power. This man came out with the polka dot attire. We all know what that polka dot attire meant, which pissed him off. On top of that, pissed everybody off. This whole thing with Seth Rollins going in people's heads and messing up their thinking, and I'm like, bruh, come on, this man can't take a break. Like, bruh, I know it's Seth Rollins, he's good at doing this, but Jesus, man, damn. But after that, this man, Cody Rhodes, walked in that arena with a torn pec. We saw that. That's not hideable. That's not hiding. That is very much there, very much alive. And this man came in, Hell in a Cell, took off his jacket, and you could see his. I mean, from us, it was the right side of his shoulder, but technically it's obviously the left when you kind of stand there. But his whole pec was purple and blue. The whole thing was swollen and puffed out. You can see it was that bad. And this man was basically punching him with one arm and everything, doing his moves with only one arm. We can tell that hurt. Anybody with that torn pec, bro, they're going to be out for a good amount of time. Not for a whole year, maybe like half the year at most. So, this man we could see this man's face, it was hurting, but he had to fight through the pain to win the match. That's what he did. The man fought through a pain with a torn pec. I swear, if I was in that match, if I said, bruh, if you do you want to wrestle, if someone asked you, do you want to wrestle, your opponent, the final match to sum up everything, to move on and try to get, championship spots. And I'll be like, I would love to. Well, honestly, me wrestling with a torn pec, if you're brave enough to wrestle with a torn pec and not be 100% during a match that you're expected to win, I don't think I would have done it, because that would have hurt me way too much. When you have an injury like that big, you can't move that part of your body. You're every time you move it, it's gonna hurt. And this man was wrestling his arm, how you usually say if you broke your arm and your arm was kind of in the cast and the cast is over, goes over your shoulder like that. If this man that's how bad it was. I give props where props is due. Cody Rhodes wrestled like that, and we could tell every time he moved it, every time he did a punch, every time he got hit, it hurt like crazy. It did. It hurt like crazy. That's one injury that I just I understand that he was injured when the past Monday Night Raw, but I didn't know it was that bad after we saw it. But this man was still whooping Seth's ass in that ring. This man Seth did everything. This man took a sledgehammer to the back, the sledgehammer to his injury. This man took a chair to him. This man brung out a table. It's so funny, bro. This man tried to do a frog splash, and this man, Cody, moved out the way just a millisecond before before Seth's lower body hit the table. And I'm like, yo, this man is, I know it's a Hell in a Cell match, so it's anything goes at this point. No disqualifications, no DQs, so no, countouts, no nothing like that. So you're going to have to rely on hitting his ass with objects we all know Hell in a Cell when you're 100% already hurts enough. It already sucks when you're like maybe 50%, maybe 45% even with a torn pec and still have to wrestle. Your choice to wrestle with a torn pec or not. And he said at the end of Hell in a Cell, it was his decision to wrestle with a torn pec because he still wanted to be there and have his fans behind him the whole entire time and say, bro, even though I am not 100% for this match, I could still whoop and beat Seth Rollins' ass, which he did, and he came up on top still and made his mark. And now that he is done with the rivalry, he can move on to collect championships and probably be the United States champion. And be the United States champion. And technically, he was supposed to be the United States champion until Seth Rollins interrupted him and whooped his ass, and that's where the whole torn pec came into play. Honestly, this man would have defeated Theory and would have became United States champion if Seth Rollins never interfered. Bro, in my mind, Cody Rhodes, ever since he came back to WWE, the man has been phenomenal. He's been so phenomenal. I wouldn't say this man has lost a match when technically he kind of did, because he did get disqualified from the match anyway he did get disqualified. Well, I don't even know if he got disqualified at this point, because Seth Rollins did interfere. So yes, in their rules, he did get disqualified. So he did technically, he won, but also lost the title match. He won the match, but Theory still kept the title because of the interference with Seth Rollins. So, but in my mind, it's not really a loss. It's just that this man is way better than Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins can't handle losing. We all know that. He can't handle losing. Losing to him is just very shitty. But he lost 3 matches back to back. Same thing. This man had the same kind of stuff with Edge. Bro lost. I forgot what was it. Bro lost his first match. I don't remember what pay-per-view it was exactly. Then he won the second match against Edge on a SmackDown show. Then it was tied 1-1, and then lost at Crown Jewel and did a Hell in a Cell match at Crown Jewel. And then after that, now he's moving on to Cody Rhodes. Bruh lost to Cody at WrestleMania 38. Didn't really handle that loss too well. Then wrestled again at Backlash, and Cody won that match against Seth Rollins at Backlash by rolling him up from the tights and holding his tights. The referee did not see it. Yes, Cody did cheat a bit, but that was the only way he was going to get that win, because nothing was, every time he did something to Seth, it just, he couldn't get his ass down, period. So he had to cheat a little, and the referee didn't see it, thank God, and he didn't take that win. And now, finally, this man, Hell in a Cell, this man did everything to injure this dude so he can have a win, and still, this man lost to Cody Rhodes with a torn pec. And I'm like, bruh, this man lost 3 times in a row. This rivalry is over. This rivalry is done for. And So after that, this man Cody announced that he will be out for a good amount of time because of he wants to get better. But when he'd be back and better than ever, he is still gonna chase that championship title. He's still gonna chase that world title. It doesn't matter if you have to get your United States belt before getting a WWE shot, a WWE world title shot. He is gonna become the undisputed Universal Champion and beat the Tribal Chief himself. And I'm telling you this right now. This man will be one of the best undisputed Universal Champions out there. And also, tell you this, when Cody announced that, Seth Rollins came out, and I was like, okay, I saw this. I thought it was going to be no funny business. This man didn't do no funny business. He didn't hit or anything. He said, now I gotta hold you, that was one of the best damn rivalries I had with you. Nice guy, everything. Shook his hand, gave him a hug, gave him what you want to hit, and he said, your dad would be very proud of you right now. Happy as hell. So I'm like, yo, so this is a face turn we're going to see from Seth Rollins. I'm like, this is good. This is really good. And so we thought. This man came out after this man was about to leave, took a sledgehammer, hit his ass, hits like Cody Rhodes in the back, ripped off his shirt, and fucking hit and plunged the sledgehammer into his torn pec even more. I'm like, bro, are you serious right now? So you said all of that just to be more salty that you can't get over that you lost 3 times against this dude. You can't get over that you lost 3 times against the dude. Bruh, give it up. You lost 3 times. You lost at WrestleMania. You lost at WrestleMania Backlash. And you now lost at Hell in a Cell. Give it up. Give it, like Step Up 3 says, give it up. You suck. Like, you lost back-to-back times. Give it up, man. Just give it up. You're done. You're done. Okay? You're done. The whole rivalry's done. You're done. And after that, this man, like I said, gave him like a goodbye for him to like still be injured with a torn pec. I'm like, dude, you're making this more complicated than it already is. The man is already hurting like hell. This man can walk, but he can barely move that arm. Like, and to make matters, worse, this man is going to be out for 6 months. That's what WWE said. He's going to be out for possibly 6 months. Which that's a lot of time for it to heal, which is good. Exercise, get back on it. And make sure he's good. But when that 6 months comes back, after them 6 months, WWE Championship spots. Not tag team, we're going to do mid-card. No tag team, mid-card, and world title spots. That's it for when he comes back after them 6 months after he's healed. And I swear, I know Seth Rollins will probably be dealing with someone else, but this man, Cody, is a fighter. His father's looking down at him right now. And I know you going through this major injury right now, but you have made me proud, my son. That's what he's thinking in his mind, honestly. And I'm happy to see that Cody Rhodes has put a final blow on an end to this rivalry now, which was a very solid rivalry too. Very solid, very good rivalry. I really liked it. And now he can go off and actually heal up properly and come back more better than ever. So congratulations for Cody Rhodes whooping this man's ass in a Hell in a Cell and making that rivalry to rest.